Hello everyone. Today we are presenting to you our Learning to Learn module. Before we start, let me introduce to you the authors of this module. The first one is Ainul Aisyah, followed by Dayanku Nurhanis, Fatina Fika, Nur Syahida, and Nurul Hidayah. Of course, with Dr. Harwati's guidance. In this module, there will be 6 parts. The first one is the introduction. The second one is the learning activity 1 called Predict. The third one is the learning activity 2 called Hotel Holiday. The fourth one is the learning activity 3 called Hit Me If You Can. And in the fifth part is the conclusion. And lastly is the references. For the introduction, this module includes 3 activities to improve speaking skill among Year 5 students. The design activities are ranging from basic phonic recognition to advanced question and answer and elaborating justifications. Also, the design activities are suitable for both individual work and group work. Integrating learning to learn strategies such as social strategy and affective strategy to help the students to connect the information in meaningful ways and sharpen their speaking skills. This module focuses on Year 5 primary students. The level of proficiency that targeted is intermediate or advanced proficiency level. The focus skills are mainly focusing on speaking skills, also integrating reading skill and writing skill. The strategy classifications involved in this module is social strategy, affective strategy, and cognitive strategy.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to activity 1 of this module. PREDAC stands for Prepare, Devise, and Act Out. This activity aims at students to apply basic language skills which enable them to communicate effectively. It emphasizes the importance of sustaining the use of the English language within and beyond the classroom. Acknowledging students' differences, that is why the materials or resources prepared are for diversified individuals' needs among the students. They can take responsibility for their own learning. Students also can practice using correct and appropriate rules of grammar in speech and communicate information confidently and appropriately in informal situations. The focus skills for this activity is speaking skills, but it also can be integrated with writing and reading skills. The purpose of this activity is for the students to learn the key phrases for asking and saying where places are. Now, for the main idea, students will use PREDAC learning activity in practicing short conversations. The pupils will remember 6 key phrases that they used in the activity. There are 3 learning to learn strategies used for this activity: social strategy, affective strategy, and cognitive strategies, where they will remember the use of the key phrases. Teaching aids prepared are the worksheets, instruction card, task card, a map, and exit tickets. Here are the stages in this activity. Start with preparation, then devising, and lastly, act out. Let's look at the step and procedures. Step 1, preparations. Out of class activity. This is where the students need to search or find information about local mysteries of the places of interest in their town, city, or state during the flipped classroom activity. They have to seek for information first. They have to be ready before they do or carry out the activity. And during in-class activity, students will do the preparation exercise first, where they need to pick the phrases that they think are suitable for asking and answering for information and direction. Then they will cross-check the answers with their peers. Later on, they will identify any wrong answers throughout the whole class's discussions and feedback. Step 2, devising. For this stage, students will sit in a small group. There are 3 of them, so they have to find 2 group members. Then they will be given an instruction card. They have to read instructions, and if they don't understand the instruction, they can ask their teachers for assistance. Next, they will take a task card and read the instruction as well. Later, they are given 5 minutes to think and arrange ideas, asking for information and direction of the local places of interest that they knew. That is why the flipped classroom activity is really important for them to carry out. And to lower down the anxiety, the students are allowed to make notes for their references. Step 3, act out. So they have to choose a leader to draw lots for turns taking. And they are given about 2 to 3 minutes to role play using the key phrases given at the preparation stage. The other students will listen and award 2 stars and 1 wish and give feedback, either asking questions or give comments on their friends' role play. As the closure of the activity, students will fill in the exit ticket to reflect and give feedback on the activity. This activity is very interesting because they give the chance for the students to be creative in creating their own dialogue. Now for evaluation can be conducted through various tasks given about the key phrases to ask and say where places are. Students also can be assessed through task-based evaluation, which can be implemented before and after the introduction of strategy. The 2 stars and 1 wish carried out by students for assessment purposes, as well as the feedback given by their classmate. The effectiveness of pre-DAC learning activity can also be evaluated through the exit ticket provided to the students. Variation. Pre-DAC can be implemented in other learning skills such as reading and writing skills. It is suitable either as an individual, peer, or group learning activity. Students can implement it either as an in-class or out-of-class activity since the materials provided are suitable for independent learning. As the activity task's purpose is for the pupils to apply language skills based on the key phrases they learned, they can use it to create dialogue as their writing activity. Besides, they can also proofread the dialogues during the devising stage. Well, here are the teaching aids used for this activity. This is the instruction card, and we have the worksheet for the key phrases. Next, the task card, a map, and exit ticket. That's all. Thank you.
The next activity for this module will be Hotel Holiday. This activity will be focusing on the speaking game, in which the students are going to do miming and forming questions in a group. In this hotel request game, students mime and guess hotel requests. Students imagine that they are at a hotel reception in a country where they can't speak the language and that they have to mime requests to the hotel receptionist. The focus skills of this activity will be speaking, and the integrated skill is reading. The purpose of this activity: students will be able to guess and make hotel requests from mimes, and students are able to use hotel vocabulary to construct requests. The main idea and usage behind this activity will be students are going to do miming and forming questions in a group. The strategic classification used in this activity will be social strategy and affective strategy. The teaching aids are cue cards, magic board, and marker pens.
We will begin the activity with step 1, which is the introduction of the game. Students have to imagine that they are at a hotel reception in a country where they cannot speak the language and that they have to mime requests to the hotel receptionist. Teacher explains to students that each request begins with "could you" or "could I". Students list down the requests using hotel vocabulary listed by the teacher or any words related. The second step will be the hotel holiday game, which is in group work. Students are divided into groups of 4 and each group paired out with the opposing team. Each pair of teams is given a set of cards. Students shuffle the cards and place them face down in a pile in front of them. A student from one team picks up a card and mimes requests to the 2 teams. Students in both teams watch the mime and call out their ideas. They can list or write hotel vocabulary on the magic board as clues. Step 3 will be the choosing of the winner. The student who is miming points and nods at students who provide accurate guesses until someone says the exact request on the card. The first student to say the correct request scores a point for their group. A student from another group then picks up a card and continues with the second mime onwards. This activity continues until all the cards have been used. The group with the most points at the end of the game wins. These are the example of cue cards. At the end of the activity, how do we evaluate the students' understanding of the lesson? Students are given a dart each. They have to place the darts on the area that they fill after finishing the activity. Students write down the sentence based on the chosen area in the dartboard. The variation of the activity can be simplified into miming words for weaker students, and as for advanced learners, the hotel holiday activity can be carried out as role play or dialogue practice for students.
Okay, now let's move on to activity 3, which called Hit Me If You Can. Hit Me If You Can is a 2-step activity which requires students to brainstorm and discuss the idea of the chosen theme. The theme for this activity is health and focusing on word association game. The highlight of this activity is mallet game, where students need to say aloud the words they have learned during the brainstorming stage. Now, the focus skill is main is the speaking skill, and we also integrate reading skill in this activity. The purposes of this activity are the students are able to brainstorm vocabulary related to the theme, and also they are able to say aloud the idea related to the theme confidently. The main idea of this activity, it requires students to brainstorm and discuss the idea of the chosen theme. And the strategies chosen for this activity are social strategy and cognitive strategy, while the teaching aids are pictures, sticky notes, and toy mallet. So how is this activity conducted? Let's look at the next slide. For the step 1, brainstorming. So teacher pastes a series of pictures related to the health theme on the board, and students are given sticky notes. In 10 minutes, students are asked to write their ideas, one word for each picture, on the sticky notes regarding the pictures. Next, students will paste their sticky notes on the board accordingly. Teacher goes through the answers with students and omits the unsuitable answers. These are the pictures will be pasted on the board. As you can see, these pictures are related to the theme. This is an example or the possible answers that students will paste on the board. Next, step 2, we move on into the mallet game. First, students are divided into groups of 5 and seated against the board so that they will not see the answers on the board. Then, a representative from the first group will choose an envelope containing one of the previously learned images. Toy mallet will be given to the opposing group. The group has 5 minutes to say aloud the words or phrases associated with the image. A representative will start first. If he or she gives an incorrect or irrelevant response, the opposing team will gently strike him or her with the mallet and he or she will lose the opportunity. Each member of the group will take turns discussing the image. Repeat the steps with other groups. The game is won by the remaining members of the group. Means the more members in the group shows that they have spoke the most vocabulary based on the image pasted on the board. For example, if group 1 pick the sleep picture, so they have to say aloud the word regarding the picture. They can say sleep, enough sleep, or sleep 8 hours, or any other words that related to the pictures. If they say, for example, play, which is unrelated to the picture, they will be struck by the opposing team and lose their opportunity to play. They will pass to the next person in the group to continue the game. Next, for the evaluation part, students stamp their fingers on the feeling chart. For this stage, students will give the chance to stamp their fingers on the stamp pad and go to the feeling chart and choose which feeling that they feel during the activity. Next, several volunteer of students will write their comments about the activity on the chart. This is an example of the feeling chart. After stamp their fingers on the stamp pad, then they need to choose their feelings, and some of them will write their comments about the activity on the chart. Then, for the variation part, Hit Me If You can be applied with other themes, for example, school, house, and sports. So, teachers can provide more theme and pictures for them to brainstorm and give more vocabulary for them to practice. It can also be implemented in other focus skills such as reading and writing, where students read the clue and write the answers instead of saying it aloud. The numbers of students also can be flexible according to the suitability of the classroom.
And as for the conclusion, learning to learn strategies foster autonomy and self-regulated learning, empowering learners to take ownership of their education. They promote adaptability and transferability of skills across various subjects and domains, cultivating lifelong learning abilities. By employing these learning to learn strategies, students will benefit from enhanced learning efficiency, improved retention and recall, increased motivation and engagement, and enhanced problem solving and critical thinking abilities. They will develop self-awareness, confidence, and resilience in their learning journey. Through active engagement with the module's material, participation in discussions, and completion of exercises, students will enhance their learning experience and gain new insights. The activities in the module have fostered a well-rounded understanding of speaking skills by encouraging critical thinking, problem solving, and creative learning approaches. Furthermore, the module has also emphasized the significance of learning to learn strategies. Students will be able to hone their skills and build a solid foundation that will serve as a springboard for their future development and success. In conclusion, the learning module will provide valuable learning experience and skills for the students. It is hoped that students, especially in Year 5, are able to improve their speaking skills with the activities in this Learning to Learn module. With that, thank you everyone for listening.